Hi, good people. It's Kaylin here. We are driving in traffic. I'm not going to really talk about super interesting things today. This is my first video on this channel. And I'm just going to talk about whatever the fuck I feel like talking about. I'm going to swear and stuff because I'm in traffic and there's somebody right on my ass right now. This is going to be a real life vlog. Let's do a real life vlog. I mean vlog, video blog, real life YouTube channel. Dude, get off my ass. What the fuck? I don't know if you could see this. You can't see this dude behind me. He's making this face look, but he's driving all up on my ass when I am clearly in traffic. Want to see? Clearly in traffic. Dude all up on my butt. See him? See him back there? Yeah, that fucking guy. You're on camera. You're on YouTube. Fucking guy on my ass. You're on YouTube. YouTube. Now he knows he's on YouTube. What up? Oh, I gotta slow down. I got to slow down. So anyway, had a pretty stressful day today. I'm fucking over it, man. I am over stressful days. I am over giving my stress to something that doesn't deserve it. My 9 to 5 is stressing me out, man. I'm gonna tell you why. Because here's the thing is, this is my new internet movement. Hashtag honest on the internet. Just the words all together. Spell them out. It's not like an acronym or anything. Honest on the internet. You can call it honey for short if you want to. But that's my new acronym because I want to tell you everything, and I'm not gonna hold back. So, for example, to get started, I am dealing with some mental illness right now. I am not the only person that has that going on. And I want you to know that I'm here going with it through you. Going through it with you. So if you're suffering from a mental illness right now, you are with me right now. We are together. We're doing this. And girl or boy or other gendered friend, you don't have to be alone. You're not alone. There's tons of us out there. The more people I talk to about it, the more people I meet at new jobs, and I've met some through Facebook groups, I've met some on Instagram, I've met some on YouTube even. I've even seen some videos from people that I'm now subscribing to that also have mental illnesses. And so there's a lot of us out there. I want you to know you're not alone. And I'm going to talk about mental illness on this channel because you know what? There's something wrong with not being able to talk about it in America. In America, there's something where people are afraid to talk about it. People are afraid of people that have mental illness. People don't want to be around people with mental illness because they don't understand it. And okay, bye fucking guy that was behind me the whole time, you asshole. Anyway, I had to talk. You gotta take those opportunities sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Back to the topic at hand. There's something wrong with not being able to talk about what you're going through. That's fucked up. And on my YouTube channel and with this Honest on the Internet movement, we're not going to tolerate that anymore. I'm going to say I am a little inspired by the whole Me Too movement. I don't support people that come out and say stuff just for the sake of saying stuff when nothing ever happened to them. That's fucked up. But I do support people who have had something happen to them that is wrong and they're speaking out about it and saying, hey, listen, this happened to me and it's not cool. And, you know, if they're telling the truth, I don't know if they are, but if they're telling the truth, then they deserve some justice, and fucking right, I'm gonna support them. Fucking, ugh. inspired by that. What I'm mostly inspired by, though, are the people that I've met over the last few months going through my own journey with borderline personality disorder, bipolar disorder 1 and 2, attention deficit disorder, anxiety disorder, and major depressive disorder, amongst other things. I'm not, diagnosis is fluid sometimes. I've met a lot of people who have been afraid to talk about things, and I've been afraid to talk about things. I have never, before last week, I had never disclosed to anyone voluntarily that I had mental illness because I was afraid that they were going to think differently about me. And I was afraid that I wasn't going to be treated equally, the same as other people, and I wasn't going to be given the same opportunities. I was afraid that they would find reasons to fire me at work. I was afraid that I wouldn't get the same level of respect or consideration, or I wouldn't be included in things. I didn't want people to be afraid of me. I didn't want people to think, oh, well, she's upset right now. It's only because of her bipolar or whatever. Because you know what? I am on medication for that shit, friend. And so if I'm upset, yeah, okay, I might be a little more inclined to be upset about something than somebody else. But hey, you know what? If you have a personal relationship with, say, somebody in your household and somebody else talks shit about them, you are more likely to be upset about it than the next person, right? Especially a person who doesn't even know of that person. Am I right? So it's just I have a closer relationship with my emotions than most people do because I experience a much higher intensity of them than most other people do. But that doesn't mean that that's all I am. And that doesn't mean that everything I do is controlled by that. That may have been true in the past, but you know what? Everyone is a whole person, no matter what health issues you have, what chronic illness you live with. You are a whole person. You're not your disease and you're not your illness. And it doesn't define you. So let's get rid of the bullshit layer that's keeping us all from talking about it and just fucking come out with it. I'm not afraid anymore. I'm choosing to not be afraid anymore because at this point in my life, I don't give a fuck what anybody else thinks about it. You can think whatever you want to about mental illness, about other chronic illnesses, about something that might be wrong with somebody else. You can think whatever you want about it, but if it's not your life and doesn't affect you directly, then what you think doesn't really have a bearing on that other person, and it shouldn't. So for everybody out there that is suffering from something like this, I want you to know you're not alone, and you need to talk about it. You need the support of everyone around you, just like somebody who has cancer, just like somebody who has polycystic kidney disease, which one of my very favorite YouTubers has, and I didn't even know what it was before I started listening to her channel. And she came out with a podcast where she talked about, like, hey, I don't feel like there's a safe space on the internet for us to say, I'm not having a great day today. I don't feel good today. I wasn't able to do what I planned on doing because I had a rough night and I just didn't feel good enough to do it. Or, there's things like that. And thinking about that, I thought, that's bullshit. Why should you feel like you can't say what you need to say in order to tell your truth, your version of your truth? you shouldn't have to hide anything. You should be able to be your complete person. And if somebody can't understand that and can't still respect you and still want to be your friend or things like that, then you don't need them in your life. Honestly, they can go fuck off. How old am I? I'm turning 33 in just over 3 or 4 months. September I'll be 33, and I am way too old for any of that bullshit. And so are you. And favorite YouTuber, I'm talking to you, girl. Solidarity, alright? Fuck that shit. We are not letting anybody else's feelings or Instagram algorithms or any of that shit control our lives. We're not gonna fucking do it anymore. I'm sick of it. Because you know what? It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, that algorithm doesn't determine your value, and it doesn't determine how great of a person you are, how great of a mom you are, how great of a parent you are, a sister, a brother, a mom, a dad, a child. It doesn't determine anything important about your life. And you know what? For all that social media BS on the internet, honestly, if it doesn't enable you to be who you are, then it's not worth it. And now I'm gonna come at this honestly too, just like everything else. I was having a very hard time with my Facebook account. Not because I didn't want to participate in groups, and not because I did follow like 900 people from my high school and think, oh my god, their life's so much better than mine and things like that. That wasn't the problem. The problem was that I got to a point where I saw that a community that I really loved being a part of was just being absolute asswads to about, honestly, probably a good majority of the community. And the admins of the group were just sitting there and letting it happen, as if discriminating against a large portion of any community should be tolerated. Because FYI, Planners Gone Wild, that shit is ridiculous. Alright? And y'all know who you are. And I'm naming names because I'm pissed. And I'm not part of your fucking group anymore, and I don't care to be, but you need to know you're out of line. And I'm sorry if you don't agree with Republican planner women, then that's fine. But calling them the names that you called them and sanitizing your group and using that language especially is just abhorrent to me. And I said as much in the group, and of course everybody got riled up, and you know, I left of my own accord because I wasn't even going to be a part of that, and I couldn't even stay another minute. But somebody needs to take y'all down a few pegs. And you know what? Discriminating against anybody for any reason is not okay. I don't give a shit if you agree with them or not. Now that I've said my piece about that, I want you guys to just think about doing this, especially the mentally ill friends among us out there. Listen, I make a decent salary. I have a good job. I mean, a lot of people consider it a good job. I make a lot of money. No, it's not my dream life to be working in corporate America, but honestly, at this point, I'm just glad that my husband hasn't left me yet, and my kid's doing well, and my family's intact. And that's really all I can hope for at this point. And I'm just at a point in my life where I'm not going to deal with bullshit anymore, and I'm not going to lie, and I'm not going to pretend that I am doing great just so I can say to people, oh, I'm great, how are you? And no, I'm going to come out and say, hey, listen, I'm not feeling good. Not really feeling people-y today, I need some time alone, or, you know, sorry I can't make it. just not interested. Things like that, because honesty is important. In marriage, at work, in life, we all have to stop putting up a front online. If you don't do it for yourself, do it for somebody else who can't get there yet. Do it for somebody who's struggling alone and doesn't understand that they matter. Do it for people who aren't diagnosed and aren't getting help right now. The health system in America is completely fucked. I mean, husband and I have decent health insurance, and I still can't get care in the way I need to, partially because of the way the health system is so fucked in our country. So I don't even know what to say at this point. I think I've run myself out of ammunition. Honest on the internet. Let's be honest with each other, okay? Real people. We're not a perfect Instagram picture. That's not real life, okay? No one's house looks like House Beautiful magazine. Good housekeeping is not your life. Remove yourself from those influences. Honestly, it's time for that shit to die. That's like an old marketing thing from like the 30s. Can that magazine go away already? Stop letting the magazines dictate your shit. Stop buying shit because somebody else did. Stop buying Erin Condren surprise box just because everybody else is doing it. I mean, honestly, after I saw the contents of that thing, I was like, I'm glad I didn't buy it. What do I need another cup for? I can't be trusted to clean a cup. Yeah, I'll clean it for like the first 3 times, but borderline personality types like me are not great with routine, and so, well, tedious stuff like that. Like, I can find a reason to throw that thing away when it's dirty and not clean it. So I will definitely do that with it. So I'm glad I didn't get it. And my sunglasses are probably even too big to fit in there, and besides, I keep them in the car, in my pull down car thing anyway. So this is a 17-minute and almost 18-minute video. I hope this hammers the point home, because you know what, I'm tired of not being honest with everybody, so I'm gonna be. And if you don't hear it from me here, you'll hear it from me somewhere, probably. It's gonna be honesty all up in here. Okay? If you are struggling with mental health this week, especially after hearing about, the celebrities that have had suicides and things like that, these things happen in waves. There's probably a lot of backstory you don't know about. Try to distract yourself. Reach out to friends, reach out to family, reach out to resources in your community. Churches are awesome. They have a lot of resources. Anybody that volunteers places, they usually know where to go. Google what's around you. There's free stuff out there for everybody, and a lot of the time, even if you just want somebody to talk to, you can find somebody. There's actually text support you can get. There's, I think, an app called 7 Cups. It's text messaging support groups. And you can find those online. You can get that on the Play Store. There's a lot of resources out there, so don't be afraid to go and find them. If you're embarrassed to do it, you don't have to be embarrassed about it. This is what Jason said to me, my husband. That makes me feel a lot better about things like that. Like when I start thinking about, I suck because of this, or I'm less valuable than other people because of this. He said one day when I was picking up my prescriptions, because I have a lot of prescriptions, he said, you know what, it's just like when I get medicine for my allergies. It's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's just like having allergies. It's just a medical condition. There's something that isn't working in your body correctly, and that's okay. And there's no need to feel embarrassed about it, and there's no need to hide it. and there's no need to be ashamed of it, and there's nothing to feel guilty about. You are worth being given help however you need it. So don't be embarrassed about it. There's nothing wrong with being mentally ill. There's nothing wrong with having a kidney disease that is nothing you can do. I mean, you've got, I've got what I've got. There's no way to turn it off. It doesn't have an on-off switch. Chronic illness is like that. And yeah, mental health is a chronic illness. There's nothing you can do. Once you've got it, you've got it. But at the same time, you can take control of your life and say, I'm not willing to live like this anymore. Sometimes you just have to get to that breaking point, and maybe you're not there yet, and that's okay too. But if you're at the point where you're sick of fucking feeling like you have to hide your life, or like you can't speak honestly to your coworkers, or you can't speak honestly to your boss about why you're taking time off because you have to go to therapy. Listen, girls and boys, I just broke down the door on all that last week, and I said, listen, here's what's going on. I have these conditions. I am in therapy for this. That's why I am going to these appointments. That's why I'm leaving at these times. And guess what? My boss had no problem with that at all. I was completely shocked. I expected a totally different reaction because I have had nothing but either disbelief or negativity or, other bad experiences with that. I even had a former boss laugh at me when I told him that I was struggling with depression or something like that. I mean, that was a long time ago. That was probably the late 90s when that happened. But there's nothing to be ashamed of. And with the rate things are going in this country, if you don't do it for me or you or your kids or your spouse or sisters, brothers, family members, moms and dads, if you don't do it for any of those reasons or people, think about all the school shootings that are going on lately, and think about what those kids are going through that they're not willing to talk about. And where do they learn about that kind of behavior, that it's not okay to talk about things like that? They're learning that from us, from the grown-ups. They're learning that from the people who are going about their lives and hiding what's going on with them, hiding who they are, and feel like they can't talk to anybody about it. That's where kids learn this stuff. It's not video games, and it's not violence in movies and on TV. Kids are smarter than that. They know that that kind of stuff exists, and they know that that's different than real life. Kids are smart, okay? But what they don't know is how to live their life differently than they see every other adult living theirs. They don't know how to do things differently because nobody's shown them a different way. All they're seeing is their moms and their dads deal with these problems, go to work, not be able to talk about it all day, come home all grumpy and depressed, and then, be too exhausted to have any fun at night with them. That's what they see. And so that's what they learn is, here's what I have to look forward to when I grow up. And if that kid, gets to certain ages where they start going through puberty and the hormones start going, and sometimes, mental illness can set in at a young age for some people, and maybe that's the point where they go, you know what, fuck this, I've had enough. And being kids, they don't know what else to do to get attention. And it's really sad, but honestly, as a parent, as somebody who struggles with mental illness and has for the last anywhere between 9 to 13 years, I could say, yeah, that's what I think is happening. Maybe that's not actually what's happening, but in my view, that's what's happening. So if you don't disclose your mental illness or your chronic illness, or even that you had a bad day and you don't know what to do about it, or you've got a problem you can't resolve, maybe you need to. And think about all those kids and all those kids who really had to bear the brunt of all that. It's not even their frustration, and they end up getting shot or killed, or see friends go through those same things, end up scarred for life because something happened at their school that should never ever happen ever in the history of the world. but it's all of a sudden becoming a phenomenon in this country. People aren't talking to each other, man. That's why. So if you don't decide to go honest on the internet about your life right now, stop and think about why. What are you afraid of? You think people are going to judge you? Because guess what? People are probably judging me right now. Go for it. You want to say I'm bipolar? Yeah, I am. I am bipolar, yes. You want to say, oh, she's borderline? Well, yes, I do have that disorder, yes. Neurologically, I probably have, some chemical things going on that are not normal. Not neuronormative, or whatever the correct language is. I'm not in a position to be offended by anything. I do most of the offending usually. Yeah, I have things like that going on. So yeah, I'm mentally ill, and if you're the kind of person where you're just set out to be offended by the world, well, you're probably going to be offended by something I said in this video. And listen, I'm toning it down because what I really think is a lot more extreme than this. But let's be honest with each other, okay? I'll do it if you'll do it. I'm doing it. I'm out here doing it. I don't ever want my favorite YouTuber to feel like she can't talk about her life, because that's fucked up and that's some bullshit. Because that girl has given me so much inspiration over the last few months. She has no idea. I'll never be able to thank her enough. Honestly, I cried listening to her first podcast, and that's not the kind of stuff I cry about, okay? I don't get moved to tears by movies or anything. I mean, unless I'm about to get my period. But she touched a very deep place inside my soul, and for the kinds of breakthroughs mentally that I've had since then, I can't thank her enough. So I just want to say thank you, favorite YouTuber. You know who you are, I hope. And if you don't, I'll shoot you a message if you happen to see this video. But let's all be honest, okay? Let's get out there, honest on the internet. After this half hour, if you're still hanging on, I know you mean it. So let's get out there and be honest with each other, all right? Stop showing perfect house pictures. Start showing your shitty, messy house that we all have. Girls, boys, other genders. We all have messy houses. Get used to it. It's America. We're fucking working. We're busy. We're sitting around on the internet. We ain't cleaning shit. We're busy and we're tired. Work 40 hours, come home, we're tired. Go to school 40 hours, come home, we're tired. Parenting, we're tired. We don't have time to make things look perfect. Our house is not a goddamn Instagram video. Am I right? So get over it, man. All this fake shit has to go. Has to go. This obsession with fake celebrities. What is that? What is that? They spend their entire life becoming a fake person that doesn't even exist. They don't even look like that at home in their underwear. So what the hell are you so obsessed about, okay? Get over it. Life isn't perfect. But if we talk to each other, we can do it. That's the thing. Okay? Favorite author Glennon says, we can do hard things. And you know what? Fucking right we can. Carry on, girl. She's getting her done. She's doing a ton of hard shit. Glennon, high five, girl. You are killing it over there. But, at this point, I have worn myself out, you guys. I'm losing a lot of steam. I need to go feed my dog dinner and let him out to pee because he's been in his kennel for like the last 8 hours because I've been at work. Thank you for hanging out this long, and please, for the love of God, be honest on the internet. Hashtag honest on the internet, okay? Or honey, HONNI for short, all right? Tag me if you use it because I would love to see it. I want to see honesty out there. I want to see you talking to each other about what's going on and stop hiding all the time, all right? You got this. You're stronger than everything else. I know it because if I can do it, you can do it too, all right? Let's do this, guys. All right. Signing out. It's Wednesday, my dudes. See you next time.